In the past 150 days, we've outputted more than 600 short form videos. Hi, my name is Eric. I'm the founder of In Your Hand Media, and we've been putting out vertical videos over the last 150 days, every day on 3 different platforms. We've been putting them out on TikTok, Reels, and Shorts. Our approach has been filming stories along with capturing sometimes events and things that we're doing. But we have long form video where we film these little teasers that drive to the long form, where we want people to then consume the full story and then eventually maybe opt into our newsletter. We know that's a huge ask, but we just wanted to find a way to create and film content that we could then leverage over multiple months to be able to have the regular content output that people have been saying you should potentially do, which is a volume of like 4+ pieces of content. What we decided to do is 4 pieces and do that every day, as we mentioned prior. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into some of the data that we're seeing on the back end of these 3 platforms and talk about some of the things that we did in the last 30 days as juxtaposition to the prior days. And so you guys can understand and learn from our failures and our successes, and we can grow together. Let's go. All right, so the first thing we're looking at here is our TikTok account. As you can see, our views are not that great right now. So, we started off in those first 30 days where we got a bunch of seed audience exposure. That's where they take the content of these stories we were filming and they would show it to 600, 700 folks. And then from there, if it would go up further, that's fine, but we would get some algorithm pops throughout those first 30 days. The growth was looking great. But then, as the algorithm shifted, we got into the lower 200s like everybody else. And then we've had a tough time kind of coming out of that jail for a while and to just kind of have our particular account in a state of kind of where it just can't get views as much as we want with occasional hits, right? With that being said, we decided let's go ahead and try a little tiny monetary advertising play. Like what happens if we just do just the bare minimum and see what happens. This next screen that I'm showing you is exactly what that was. The way in which we purchased the ad was very simple. It was just through the iPhone, and I was on the TikTok app, and it asked, do we want to go after views or do we want to go after followers? So, of course we chose followers because we've kind of been a little stagnant, gaining a few, losing a few. And within, we spent $8.91, and that brought us in a span of like 2 or 3 days, 15 new followers, 647 views, and 3 profile views. Who are these followers? If we look into see more, it doesn't really drop down and tell you exactly who those followers are. But, that's one thing that I want to, see if I can figure out, drill down into the data and see if any of them stick around or if it's just kind of a fictitious thing you're buying. Of course, I'm just saying it because I'm just curious. Are we buying a bot? That's just one of these followers. We just don't know. But either way, we gained 15, which, it felt good to have more followers. And, we're just curious what that would do. So there you go. That's what like a quick $10 or $9, the cost of a Frappuccino at Starbucks, what you could get as far as followers. And we could do it again and again and try to build it up that way. But that's buying followers, right? It's not really people who are genuinely following the brand. And, that's what we've been kind of trying to hope to find so far. We can't be super mad because we haven't had a lot of exposure. The algorithms aren't very favorable to us. But either way, we're just going to continue to plow on. Jumping over into the business suite side, how do you get to that? If you're looking here, you can see business suite, right? So if you click more, it will take you over into where you can click business suite, and then this opens up. This gives you a good bit of, ways to drill down and kind of see what content has been working or not working. You can see your averages. I was looking at the 7-day earlier. You can see, we're not doing so great in the last 7 days. If I think about our content, a lot of it is a little bit of the reruns of sorts, so that makes sense to me. The 30-day average, though, we still have some up numbers, which feels pretty good. 90-day, though, we can start to see the trend of okay, our profile visits are going down a little bit. Our video views, aren't as good, but we know that on the front end, we had a lot of that, explore and exploit phase that seems to be happening kind of in all three of the different accounts, both TikTok, Reels, and Shorts in some degree. You get those first 30 days to really kind of see if the seed audience is like your content or not. So the front end was heavy, the back end we're starting to kind of struggle and trying to figure our way through it. But either way, we're still, once again, we're all about experimentation and learning here, and we really get to understand, is it worth it over time for us? We believe so. We've gotten, over 23,000 views. We've reached 7,000 people, profile views, 88. It's people that never even knew of us, shares, comments, so we're happy. We'd love to see more. As we jump in and start to work the accounts more, we'll probably get a chance to maybe see a little bit more activity in that regard. But for now, we're just continuing to output as we do. Audience gives you, your new followers, and as far as the demographic, the age breakdown, the country, the cities, etc. We can see Nigeria seems to like us in some degree, right? And it gives you the global span. But then United States is number 2. We got some from the Bronx, which is cool. Pittsburgh, you name it. You can look down into your videos as well. Once again, you can sort by most viewed. Looks like, yeah, wow. So that's, let's see, most viewed, but that's in the last 7 days. The last 28 days will be different. You could do a custom view. But yeah, this one here, this is the one that we actually ran the particular ad to. So you can see it brought 17 hearts, 1 share. This is what we paid to kind of promote out into the community. What was that exactly? We had this one video that we did about networking right here. You can see the difference right there. That's the paid one, where we just talked about the benefits of that. We showed some cool stuff, and we showed the outcome of the networking day, and just kind of promoting a positive message around, making sure that you get in your community, because it's still one of the greatest marketing things you can do is just handshake and getting to know people, getting out there. So yeah, there you go. That was a little bit about that content. Let's go ahead and take a moment and move over into Instagram. Instagram, eking along. We'll get occasional hundreds, like into the hundreds, but out of the 4 for the day, it can, it seems like 1 might get up into 100 or in the high 50s, 60s, 40s. But that's kind of been our norm for a while. One thing I want to say, I always, like a little epiphany is like, when you do 4 a day, one's getting 4, one's getting 20, one's getting 75, one's getting 100. It's like, would I have hit the 100 if I didn't do the 4? It's always on my mind, like 4 at bats in a given day, right? We can see here a couple 300s. This is more community oriented, different signals that wasn't really related to marketing. It was more about giving back and charity and a lot of events. So it had different signals, and in that we could see that, hey, the algorithms did kind of let it live a little bit with different signals, right? So we had a couple of those. So that's eye-opening. Maybe we should just talk about different topics entirely, and maybe we'll get more views, which is not a bad idea in all honesty, to kind of just maybe go a little wild for a little bit, see what happens. Either way, all kidding aside, let's look into the accounts and insights. Once again, this is just the professional dashboard. How do you get to that? You can just see it right there. You click dashboard, and then it kicks you over into your professional dashboard. And then from there, you can go out at the account level, and that's where now you're at the account level. You go at the content level, and you can really kind of drill down in regards to the accounts engaged, the shares, the interactions. This right here is where you can really see what's resonating, right? See my views, see that some of the charity stuff was definitely at the higher views. If I go in newest, it kind of gives you an understanding of the views. Let's see, last 30 days. Yeah, highest views, yeah. Anyway, you see what I'm getting at. It gives you a way to drill down and kind of see what content's resonating. We know our content through at this point. We know, stuff that seems to resonate a little bit more is when we're doing a little bit more direct to camera, thought leadership stuff. At times we get a little more pops with that, but we're still in an account suppression for the most part. So a lot of folks aren't seeing it unless we pay some ads to get our exposure out there more, start to really work the accounts and share it a little bit and so forth. So once again, you can go back to 90 days and kind of get an understanding of where you sit. I'll just do that with a hard refresh. There we go. 34,000. Once again, this one was Stella Drybus. She shared a static post for us in her story. Thank you once again. That gave us a lot of the reach overall. But yeah, so that did skew a little bit of like what we could see is like the true over the 90 days. We could just minus out the 25K and kind of get a little more realistic number there, which would bring us more around like 9,000 or so. But still, you know, it gives us an idea of like, is it growing? Are we getting somewhere? Yes, we are, in a lot of ways. So not much more to mention about Instagram other than the fact of a few of those different types of content that resonated and did give us a little bit more view count and a little bit more engagement recently. Jumping over into YouTube, we do see a very similar thing overall. When we're looking at our channel analytics, this is once again under YouTube Studio. Just to remind everyone, when you're logged into YouTube, you can jump into, you can switch your account, but there's normally over in this area, you'll see jump into YouTube Studio if you're not there. I'm there already, therefore it's not an option, but you can see though, we had something interesting happen around the 19th, right? And what was that? We can see that we did, you know, once again, one of these charity posts where we're documenting a heartfelt video. It got up to more, you know, 400 more than usual. Once again, this kind of resonated, really a touching story. If I were to play just a second of it, it's a touching story around this little boy and around the fact that he, you know, he has heart issues and he got violin lessons and a violin from the organization, and he was able to play for everyone there. It was a really touching, heartwarming thing. Once again, not marketing slapstick stuff that we do, you know, similar to Jeff's question and avocado toast and such. So this one resonated more recently, but we could see though, Jeff's question did okay, and the avocado toast with a Runway AI did all right as well recently, in the last 90 days. And these are more recent stuff. So it's showing us that, hey, a little bit of activity recently, which we're very happy about. You know, let's see, in the last 90 days, +7 subscribers. So once again, slow gains, but gains enough that makes it worth our while. Plus we're learning a ton around how to output these types of vertical videos so that folks at home like you can learn too, if you really do commit, what could potentially happen. Going, you know, just to kind of round out the conversation, where's everything driving to? A lot of it's driving to these stories for the most part. You know, we can see our newer stuff is getting in the 30s now, which is very promising. We like to see that. Our 90-day check-in is a 34. Our 120-day, which seems, you know, was less time has elapsed, is already approaching the 90. So that's good to see. We could see our 60-day, nobody really cared as much. We go back to our 30-day, we have about 40 people. And we have our Carter, which was one of our like really long, enriching, and, you know, really well-produced videos that had 76 and a lot of engagement around university students at West Virginia University, so that one's sitting at the highest. Really quick to recap to you guys, 69s are the hardest ones to kind of grow in overall view count if you don't have a ton of subscribers. We're at 44 subscribers, so, you know, when we post, it's not like we have a ton of built-in audience, but, you know, the shorts are once again the way in which we're trying to get people to discover us, to potentially, you know, come in and then be, you know, subscribe to us, essentially, is what we're looking to do. You know, we did have a strange comment come in at some point along the way. It was like saying it was like a secret Mr. Beast thing or something like that. I can't, I'd have to drill down into, where was it at? Isn't that would it be community and comments? Probably, yeah. Let's see, 3 weeks ago. Yeah, we got a little hater here. Once again, guys, we're not immune to it. You're talking to no one, bro. I'm like, that's fine. I don't care. There we go, right here. So this was interesting. I figured I'd show this to you. It was very odd, but we gained like 4 subscribers real quick. And I was like, that's weird. This is Mr. Beast's non-content channel. I'm reaching out with short 0 views. Congrats, I'm your first viewer. My little son knew something about this. I forgot to look it up, but I just said thank you. And we did gain a couple subscribers quickly with that. So I wanted to point that out. It was rather interesting. That was 11 days ago. All right, we're in our 150 day right now. You know, so 11 days ago, yeah, we could go and do the math on that, go back to analytics, see, you know, see we're at the 22nd. So yeah, not quite sure. We'll have to look a little deeper to see if that really, you know, happened, but it was really fascinating to get that happen. Then all of a sudden I noticed our subscriber jumped up. So fun things like that happen to us too, where we just get random comments.
things happen. Once again, we're very small on the scheme of things. We know there's so many content creators out there that are really doing huge things, but maybe one day we will become one of those content creators. Who knows? We're going to continue to be real, continue to output stuff that teaches folks about the truth and the reality around if you like really get down to business, no matter what these marketing gurus are saying out there. You know, this is kind of a labor of love, and we really enjoy doing it. So once again, stay tuned. We're gonna keep going. We're trying to go a full calendar year here to see what truly happens. We are roughly 5 months in at this moment. So yeah, just got to keep trudging. So once again, if you're out there, you know, at a minimum, try to do one piece a day. I heard if you can do one good quality piece a day. We're trying to do, you know, as many as we can, which is 4 right now. So with that, don't give up. Keep on trying, guys. Until next time, this is Eric from In Your Hand Media. Stay tuned as we continue to try to learn together and teach more and more about these platforms and about marketing in general. Have a good one.